Take a deep breath and settle into your comfy chair. Welcome to the Healers Collective, the podcast that will alchemize your health and ignite an expansion within your soul. I'm Caroline Nixon, and with my over 25 years of experience in all things holistic, as well as being a psychic, a healer, and a medical intuitive, I will guide you deeper into your energetics, your body, and your soul, supporting you along your path to be the best healer, psychic, energy worker that you can be, knowing and trusting that your body is fully supporting you. Together, we will be navigating all things energy, vibration, frequency, mindset, soul, body, spiritual practices, and more as we move through this thing called life. So grab a cup of something hot and let's get to it. Hello, and welcome to episode 4. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. Dun, dun, dun. So this might be an episode that triggers you. It might not, but it might. And like I've said before, and I'll say again, if what I'm saying doesn't resonate, that's cool, leave it, okay? These are my experiences with over 25 years in all things healing. And this is some things that I've seen, some things that I've learned, and these are my truths. And I just want to share them with you so that you can be the best at what you do in your world with your clients. And hopefully maybe something I say will spark some thought within you. Okay, so what do I mean by just because you can doesn't mean you should? So here's the thing with my spiritual energy worker, psychic, healer friends is we came here because we want to help people. We want to help people heal. We want to make the world a better place. We have dreams and desires and impacts to make. And sometimes we might feel like everybody needs my healing. And I'll tell you this, as a healer, as a medical intuitive, as a psychic, I have learned over the years, I wasn't always like this. I have learned that, first of all, not everybody wants you healing. Not everybody wants your psychic message. Not everybody wants your channeled message. Okay? And I have found that this is especially true with friends and family. My husband doesn't want my healing. My kids, not so much. Sometimes my daughter, she'll ask. Okay? My friends, now some of my friends will ask, but that's because they do the same thing. So we help each other out. But like my friends that aren't into energy work and healing and the level of work that I do, they're not wanting me to just spew all my stuff on them. Okay? First of all, it can be really disempowering to give someone healing who's not asking for it. Like, well, I'll just give them a little healing and they'll just feel better. Well, here's the thing. When you're healing somebody, quote unquote, without their permission or giving them guidance without their permission, energetically, you are saying to the universe, I don't think they can heal. I have to do it for them. Now, that might not be what consciously you're saying. No, I just want to help them. I just want them to feel better. But energetically, it's very disempowering. You're taking away their power and assuming that you know better than they do about their own health and well-being. Now, you might see things. You might see things energetically within someone, especially someone you love and care for, your spouse, your kids. But if they aren't ready, willing, and able to do the inner healing, you are overpowering and basically taking away their free will. if you're a powerful healer, if you're actually connecting with energy. Okay, that's another podcast. So it's in this energy of I'll just fix you, I'll just help you, I'll just make you better. And that can set up a really awkward dynamic, first of all, in your relationships, because people don't like to be told what to do. I don't like to be told what to do. I bet you don't either. So someone coming into your space and saying, well, look at your aura, or any of that stuff. Look at your energy. You need to do this. You need to do that. If I was you, I would do this and that and the other thing. That says more about you than it does them. So if you find yourself going up to people, friends and family, we're gonna get to strangers here in a second. If you find yourself really feeling like you have to fix them, you have to help them, I invite you to take a step back and really feel into your own energy. What within you feels like you have to help save them, fix them, heal them, because it's more about you than it is about them. If you were fully in your power, you would be way more neutral in your energetics and not feeling like you got to go save the world. The world does not need saving. Okay, the best thing you can do as a human, as a soul and a body having a human experience, as a healer, is work on your own energetics. Work on your stuff, your junk, your limitations, your mindset, your opinions and beliefs. Work on your skills. Do that. If you got to control something, control what you say, control what you do, control what you think. Okay, because that is way more inspirational. It is way more powerful to those around you by working on your own energetics, because they will either start to rise with you naturally without you having to say anything about fixing them or they'll fall away, and that's okay too. Okay. Same goes for strangers. I see, I'm on social media just like you are, and I see the craziest stuff, and I just kind of roll my eyes and I keep scrolling, because I don't comment. If I don't believe something in a post, I use this thing called a mouse and I just keep scrolling. I don't feel like I have to give my 2 cents or interject my opinion on stuff I don't believe in or, believe. But what I see a lot is I see psychics, especially psychics, because the healers, I find, they're the ones that want to heal their family, their kids, all that stuff. But I see a lot of psychics that will be at a grocery store, and they'll be like, I have a message for the person in front of me and I just had to give it to them. My guides told me I had to give it to them. First of all, you might want to check yourself and make sure you're connected to the highest level of guides, because I don't think that happens very often. Now, does it happen on occasion? Maybe. I will never say that it doesn't happen, never. But that feels, when I look at that kind of energy energetically, it feels very ego. It feels very human. I am special. I have a message. They need to hear it. No, they don't. Otherwise, they would reach out and pay you and be a client. Okay? So just remember that. I see it even in my circles. Sometimes people will reach out and give me their energetic read on something that I did not ask for. And there's a couple things going on in that kind of scenario. If you find that people are doing that to you, reaching out, giving your, their opinion to you, that has something to say about you. Something in your energetics is inviting that in. So if that happens to you, and this is something that has happened to me several times with very well-meaning, lovely people, okay? Has nothing to do with them. It's my energy. And so it was an invitation and an opportunity for me to go, what within me is attracting this kind of bullshit? Because I don't like it, okay? And I would get triggered. And so anytime I'm triggered, when I'm smart, when I'm paying attention, it is an opportunity for me to go, whoa, okay, what within my energy is attracting this kind of nonsense? And I would like to heal that. Thank you very much, because I don't like it. But if you are the person doing that, well-meaning, loving, just wanting to help people, but you're reaching out to people to give them messages or to give them advice, check yourself, because that is your ego for the most part. I'm going to say 99.9% of the time, that is your human. That is in the energy of proving, of like needing to be of service, of needing to like be accepted by people, to prove yourself as a psychic or as a healer. If you were truly in your power as a psychic and a healer, you would not need to prove a daggone thing. You would just trust and know that you were doing it, right? The loudest person in a room screaming how spiritual they are usually the least spiritual people in the room. Okay, just gonna let that sit for a minute. So there's another thing I want to touch on. Actually, there's two things. So one of the things, I have notes here. So one of the things too is the healers that come out of the woodworks when there is a natural disaster on the way, and they want to help, combat the storm or the fire or the hurricane or any of that stuff. Or even like, disease. When COVID hit, people were trying to get rid of COVID. And here's the thing. I don't inherently think there's anything wrong with wanting to do a healing meditation for any of those things. You're trying to be of service. But I want to invite you to make sure to check your energetics. Are you in an energy of fear? I have to do it. I have to get rid of this horrible thing. It's horrible. We have to do it. Like that's a frantic, agitated, fearful energy, as opposed to, I just want to send the planet some love from a peaceful, neutral place. So you're not getting emotionally charged by the healing that you're doing. The other thing that is worthy of consideration with these world type events, okay, is that it's really powerful to be able to take a step back and look at the overall picture, the wider perspective, because anytime big world events are happening, they are happening for a reason. Good, bad, and different. Take your opinion of the event out of it, okay? And look at the bigger picture energetically. Things happen for the greater good. And it might look messy as heck when it's happening, but that doesn't mean it's wrong or bad, okay? And I'm not telling you what to believe or what to think at all, ever. You do you. But it's something worth considering, because sometimes the big, really what our human feels is a very awful thing, often has a very big spiritual purpose, a restructuring of the world, if you will. And it can bring you some peace, I feel, when we can take a step back and look at the bigger picture. That doesn't mean our human has to like it. In fact, our human often doesn't like that kind of thing. But from a soul perspective, it can be exactly what the world needs, or what those people that are involved need for their growth and expansion. If you believe that you're here, a soul and a body having a human experience, and you're here to grow and expand, growing and expanding is not always comfortable. Sometimes it looks horrible. It feels awful. It is super uncomfortable. But at the other end, you can look back and see how much expansion, how much you learned, how much wider your perspective is. So I just invite you to think about that, instead of the energy of I have to fix the planet, I have to fix, I have to do, I have to, I should. Those energies are, that's your mind, that's your human, that's your ego, and it's worthy of reflecting on. My philosophy nowadays is, for the most part, is if someone is not my client, okay, we are not working together in a healing, psychic, medical, intuitive capacity, I don't give them advice. I don't reach out with my thoughts about it. I don't comment. I don't offer to heal them. Now, again, that's for the most part. Now, if my daughter, reached out and asked me to do healing work on her, I would absolutely help her. If I had a good friend who reached out and was going through something and I felt like I could help her, we would talk about it and I would absolutely offer support. But for the most part, I don't. In fact, I have found sometimes the people closest to us might not be the best clients for us. That's just, with healing, especially what I do with physical body healing, the client, the person that I'm working with, has to want it more than I want it for them. So if someone's like, yeah, can you just do a little thing for me, that thing you do, and they're not taking it seriously and they're not invested in their own health and healing, why would I waste my time and energy and their time and energy trying to do something that they're kind of half-assed about? They're not really in the game. So that is my philosophy on that. Again, you need to discern these things for yourself as a healer. I'm just bringing you maybe a different perspective on this because it can be really frustrating as a psychic and a healer to give your services to someone who isn't ready or willing or able to even receive them. And it is a headache for both of you. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And a final word about that is if you're in doubt and you're not sure, channel on it. Channel on it. Can I help this person? Am I the best person to help this person heal? And then trust what you receive, because here's the thing, especially if you are working with paying clients, if you get someone reaching out to you and it is not a good fit because you can energetically feel it, see it, know it, maybe your guides are saying not a good fit, and your human's like, I need the money, yes, let's work together, and it's not a good fit, it can be a struggle. It can be a struggle to fulfill the contract or whatever that you're working together. So when in doubt, always channel. And if you're at the grocery store and you're standing behind someone and you get a download about the person in front of you, channel, would this really benefit this person? Or is this my ego trying to prove something? Okay. Because here's the thing about psychics and healers and people that are really tapped in and tuned in. You might absolutely pick up the energy of the person in front of you at the grocery store. That doesn't mean you need to tap them on the shoulder and tell them that they've got a gallbladder issue. It just doesn't. It doesn't mean that. They're not looking for it. They're not asking for it. And you're probably going to get a weird look anyways if you do that. So just think about it. Let me know Give me a like. I would love for you to follow me and subscribe to this podcast. Reach out and let's connect. And I will see you.